know that global warming is a raising concern among all the globe for all the countries and all around the world, as we see that all the natural disasters that we can see today, like floods, rain not on the proper time, is all due to the global warming. So here I am going to discuss about global warming. Here is a picture showing global warming, that how Earth is being get destroyed by this small uh, natural phenomena, or we can say synthetic for phenomena. Now, moving on to the next slide, that is showing that what is global warming. Global war Global warming is the increase of the Earth average surface temperature due to the effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, emissions from burning fossil fuels, or from deforestation, which trap heat to the would otherwise escape from the Earth. Actually, what happens in global warming? There is a layer around the Earth, like we have the ozone layer. Similarly, in the same way, there are gaseous layer is forming around the Earth, which is trapping the heat that is coming to the Earth's surface and reflected by the Earth's surface. So that do not again go to the atmosphere, remain in the Earth atmosphere itself. So that why Earth average temperature is increasing day by day. So that's effect is called as global warming. So now moving on to the next slide, I would like to discuss about what are the causes of global warming. As you can see, there is a picture here which is showing how global warming is destroying our Earth. From a green land, it was going to be a barren land. Now, the major greenhouse effect, or we can say global warming, is majorly due to the some of the greenhouse gases, or due to some gases. The gases is called as greenhouse gases. The greenhouse gases are water vapor, which cause about 36 to 70% of the greenhouse effect. Then comes the carbon dioxide, which cause 9 to 26%. Then come the methane, CH4, which cause 4 to 9% contribution, and then comes the ozone, which causes 3 to 7% damage. Now, there are some other gases like chlorofluorocarbons, and nitrites, that are also causing global warming. Now, moving on to the next slide, here we can see that how ozone layer get depleted, and that is also the reason that why global warming is happening. The ozone layer, here you can see that the ozone layer protects the Earth from the ultraviolet rays sent down by the sun. If the ozone layer is depleted by the human action, like when we use chlorofluorocarbons in industries and etc., then that chlorofluorocarbon go to the atmosphere, deplete the ozone layer, and then ozone layer get depleted, so the ultraviolet rays come directly to the Earth. So that is also the reason that why the temperature is increasing, and the effects on the planet could be catastrophic. So if the same happens till in the future also, then that should be catastrophic for all the humans. Here you can see the three pictures that how Earth temperature is increasing, as it was shown by an ice cream cone, who has ice cream which is melted by time to time. Now moving on to the next slide, atmospheric aerosols that are altered to climate in two important ways. First, they scatter and absorb solar and infrared radiation, and second, they may change the microphysical and chemical properties of the clouds and possibility in their lifetime and extent. These atmospheric aerosols are responsible for the depletion of ozone, which causes global warming. So we may reduce this emission of these atmospheric aerosols, as they can stay for a long time in the atmosphere, and they are continuously for a small amount of atmospheric aerosol can cause a big loss to a large amount of ozone. Now moving on to the next slide, here we are, here global warming effects. We can see I have shown the six pictures. Like the first picture is the first two pictures are depicting that the icebergs and the icy region, which is providing water to the rivers, and the rivers then the water comes to us for the fresh water. That icebergs are melting with a super speed that is very dangerous for us. The next picture is showing a barren land, that if global warming happens in the same, then water level get reduced in the Earth's surface and the lands will get barren. Now the second, and now the next picture is showing that water level, Earth fresh water level is depleting, and the next two picture is also showing that how global warming is melting our temperature and increasing our temperature. Now moving on to the next slide, I would like to discuss about what are the global warming possible solution that we can prevent global warming and we can save our Earth from the catastrophic like floods, droughts, etc. Firstly, I would like to, for the first solution that I have put is if just drive your vehicle if possible, if essential only. Don't unnecessarily use your vehicle to go here and there. Just use it when it is only essential and try to use electric vehicles that reduce carbon emission. So that's why we can reduce carbon emission. And as you all know that carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which causes global warming. Now the next solution that I have put on is the reduce the use of appliances as much. If a appliance that if a fan is on in your house and it is not in use, then please switch it off, because if it is on, then it will consume more energy, and to produce the energy again and the energy we need to use coil and etc like that, and in that process carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases released which increase carbon which increase global warming. Now, moving on to the next solution, I would like to suggest to everyone that we should plant trees in your backyard or whether whether possible. At any empty place, you can tree plant. Planting tree does not mean that you plant a tree and you say that, yeah, I have planted a tree. Planting tree means planting that tree, giving that water, and caring for that tree and making it to a big from a plant to a tree. That is the whole process that we should need to follow. Now, moving on to the next, we should avoid use of plastic bags and we should use paper bags and cloth bags instead of plastic bags, because for as we know that in the production of plastic bags there are lot of greenhouse gases is emitted, so that cause global warming. Now to the next solution, I would like to suggest that choose energy efficient bulbs, because if we choose energy efficient bulbs, then energy is reduced. So we need to produce less energy. Less energy means less emission of greenhouse gases. Less emission means less global warming. Now to the next solution, I would like to suggest that reduce the use of fertilizers, because in fertilizers there are many, as I previously said, that atmospheric aerosols are present like chlorofluorocarbons and all these are present in fertilizers. So that are depleting our earth and that are also emitted to the earth atmosphere, which causes global warming. Now moving on to the next, recycling. We should as you know that we should use 3R formula: recycling if possible for us. Now moving on to the next, the industrial waste. We should need to be dispose the industrial waste very safely, not to dispose in it in rivers or something like that. Now moving on to the next, we should plan for energy audit of our house or office. Like on our basis, on our level, we can plan an audit that how much energy we are using and how can we reduce the use of energy, so we can save more and more energy. So less energy production should be needed. Now moving on to the next and the most important step, we need to educate our children's or our society that global warming is a cancer for our earth, and if we don't control it very soon, then it will be a calamity for us. Now moving on to the next, I would like to say to everyone that if you think today about this, that how big this effect is, then it will be a better tomorrow for us. Thank you so much.